Welcome to week 5, Learning in the Time of COVID. This is the week when we bring it together to talk about how we're going to run our class. Then we're going to test out our plan and then see how it goes. And then we will modify and test it out again. And when I say that, that means we're essentially going to run the class for a month and see if it's satisfying us on all the levels that we want to have quality. Let's get into it. It's about workflow. We want to continually improve our workflow, and that's what we're going to focus on this week. Thank you for being here. It starts with intention. Let's take a look at intention. This is from one of my favorite movies called The Razor's Edge, and it's the first time I became aware of what intention is. And Bill Murray's character is about to find out. So let's watch this. And it does this all the time. Here we go.
Cigarette?
No, thank you. You must find it pleasant to be rich.
I'm not rich. Oh.
I'm often mistaken.
I worked in a coal mine to come over here.
A coal mine? What was the intention?
I told you to make money to come over here.
That was the reason. What was the intention? Because if work has no intention, it's not work at all. It's an empty motion.
Well, what would you call washing dishes?
For me, this is a religious experience.
Here, let me try that. Yeah, I feel it. Kind of like being in church. Pass me the soap, will you, Bishop?
I could take you to a better church.
And the movie goes on, but I really like how Bill Murray's character asks this question and then he finds out the difference between intention and reason. And furthermore, washing dishes, how it's not just empty motion. It is actually a purpose for the other character. So something to think about. What is our intention when we go to create something? We should clarify that as much as possible. So this week, we're talking about defining workflow quality. You'll do that in your blog. Adding skills to the list that we have in Schoology. Watching a video on Scenius to find out how we create a collective of creatives and enhance our creativity. And then I'd like you to watch a video essay of your own choosing, which is also linked at Schoology. And video essays essentially are videos that explain a concept or a theory related to the art media that we're interested in. So here we are. Yay. My favorite quote of 2020. Okay, you're watching this video now. How cool. Reminder, use a timer. Humans are incredibly powerful when they're focused. All right. I think it was, I can't remember who said this. Maybe it was Bruce Lee. It's like, don't be afraid of somebody who knows 1,000 punches. Be afraid of somebody, no, is it? Don't be afraid of somebody who can throw 1,000 different types of punches. Okay, you know what? I can't get this right. Don't be afraid of somebody who has thrown 1,000 different punches. Be afraid of somebody who has thrown 1,000 of the same punch. Okay, you know what? You get the idea, hopefully. Time management, a skill to be practiced. And make sure you do check-in. Just a reminder of that. Please, please, please. And it's right here. Zoom expectations have not changed. Improvements to the class. I have changed the background over here. And would you like the white background or you like the black background? Let me know. Schoology updates. Remember that the links are in the top corner here. If a page doesn't seem to load, click here and voila. Open house slide. This is in our Schoology page because we had open house last week. This is just for parents or guardians if they want to come in and learn more about our classes. YouTube channel updates. I am posting more videos related to equipment, but also to our blogs. If you go look for Scott LeDuc on YouTube, and especially Capitol High School, you will find my YouTube channel, and you can find stuff related to our class. And I'm just using this format in the videos as well, so it looks the same. Slideshow updates, celebrations. People are posting to their blogs. Yes. You need to publish to your blog. That's how you hand in your work. Last weekend, half the students in all my classes published. The other half did not yet. So please get that published. And samples, I'm going to show you a sample. When I come over here, this is how I see your work. And when I click on it, I can then click on your blog and see the complete blog post. So Recipe for Success, this is what Sam created. And you can see an example. And there we go. So if you're wondering about that, that's what it looks like. Okay, let's go back to our presentation. And now, this week. Goals for this week. Build a class and learn about advisory because they're behind the scenes of our class. What is advisory? Advisory supports students, mentors students, provides feedback, and they help me. I do that too. Actually, they are community members. Senius. We create a creative community. A what? We are smarter than me. Senius. The intelligence and intuition of a whole cultural scene. Brian Eno. We're going to learn more about that. I want you to watch a video from him where he explains it. It's about an hour, a minute and a half. It's in our Schoology folder. So you watch this on your own. All right. Kahoot. I will oftentimes have a Kahoot number in the bottom of our slideshow so that you can see that and then join in if I'm doing a slideshow live in class. I will be using Kahoot if you think it's worthwhile and helps us with the stuff we're trying to learn. Let's define CTE. This is what we do here. This class is different than some of your other classes because our job is to prepare you for job interviews, to have a portfolio, to be ready for work, to be ready for college. This is what we're doing. So you have 1 foot in high school and 1 foot in the world of work or in college. That is what this class is about. So we're here to stretch you and to help you with professionalism. Okay, now for our narrative. A narrative is an ongoing story, and that is what we're building here together. And what you're doing this week is to help us start our narrative. Our advisory committee is part of that. And here's an advisor member, another member coming into the class to talk to us, and they help us focus above the line and below the line in skills development. Now, the reason I bring this up is that skills development is the core component of our class. We want to have a good time, we want to enjoy ourselves, but we have to develop skills and show evidence of that. So what skills? And above the below the line, what is this? Well, Eric came up with the idea of above and below the line to demonstrate, imagine, if you will, a line, beginning and end of a line. Okay, this would be the project workflow. Along the line, you have steps. You do this and then that and so on and so forth. And you have skills above and below the line. The technical skills would be above the line and 21st century skills would be below the line. The idea is that when you go through a task to create something in the project workflow, you have a number of skills happening at once. For instance, if you are trying to learn how to use a camera, well, you might have to be paying attention or do research. The 21st century skills would be you seeking out tutorials to teach yourself if you're stuck with something or asking for help. The technical skills would be the performance of the camera, getting it to work properly. So this is true for all of the skills throughout our course. So we have technical skills and we have 21st century or professional skills. Basically the stuff that you get hired for. Well, somebody once said, you get hired for your skills and fired for your behavior. Meaning if you have the technical skills, you may get hired, but if you don't have the 21st century skills, you won't stay hired for long. One of our advisory members said that if you don't have the 21st century skills, professional skills like showing up on time, following through, working hard, collaboration, communication, if you can't do that, you're not hireable. If you don't have some of the technical skills, they can train you on that. So something to think about. All right, advisory members meet with us via Zoom, and we send out an agenda. We plan it out. It looks like this. Here's an advisory member, and there's another one, and there's another one, and here's where we met in class in the past. Hey, look, I have no hair. We used to do in class, and we can see in the bottom corner here, we had people coming in through Zoom. We've been doing this for a number of years, and so now that we're completely on Zoom, ain't no big deal. We can do this. And then we get feedback, and they share specific skills and things that they think we need to work on. It's pretty cool. And then we write down what we learned, and I have this on our website so you can check in and see what's going on. We manage our project stuff with Trello. That's what it looks like. Advisories also give feedback during class, and we do this for each session. And a session is about a month where we work on a project. And it's a 4-week team project. Week 1 would be pre-production. That's where we start planning out what we're going to do. And we have documents to help us with the planning and the organizing. Here's an example for the film class. Then we use Trello to put all the tasks down there and who's taking on what tasks. Then week 2, we make the stuff. We collaborate, we create. Week 3, we fine tune and we publish. Then week 4, we present it, and here's a presentation form. This has a bunch of things to check off on how to pitch your idea to the advisory members or to other students. And this is what the advisory looked like in person. You can see the professionals on the left side and the students presenting their material up at the front of the room and getting feedback. And now we just do that with Zoom, so it looks like this. And then we improve the class during week 4. And this is where, again, we make the class better using Kaizen, using total quality learning, the Plan, Do, Study, Act, or PD, Plan, Do, kind of check, act. Stuff we learned about from Dr. Langford when he was talking about Deming. We did that a couple weeks ago. Then this is how we take our notes. We look at problems and issues and how we could solve those. And then we start our next session. And that's it. Cool. How do we design these? We use Kaizen, which is just another way for saying these two phrases. Yeah. And what I like about this, any employee, anytime, that's us, any student at any time, we can take a look at how our class is running and look at improving it. How? By doing the Plan, Do, Check, Act, or Plan, Do, Study, Act process. And it looks like this. And we take in all the different ideas that we have, the different perspectives we have to be more creative. And again, we learned about this from Dr. Langford. And you remember this, if you watch this, pretty cool. I was there. It was fun. And so now we're going to complete the work that we have in the week 5 folder in preparation for discussions about what skills, what elements we need to have for the workflow for a session to be done properly. And welcome to learning in the time of COVID. Yay! And I have stuff for advanced students. I already talked to them about that. And here's my citations. Thank you for watching. Okay, now, for those who are working on their blog, the blog post we're working on this week, it's going to look like this. You copy and paste, you come to my blog, and you copy and paste this whole thing into your blog, and delete all the words that are all uppercase after you follow those directions, okay? So title your blog, Developing Quality Workflow. I already did that. Here's the title. Okay. Then you can leave this in here, and you leave this image in here too if you like. I have the citation below. And then you can leave this definition in if you'd like. It's got the citation as well. And this is meant to stay there. I helped design this blog post so that it reads as an instruction manual for anybody who wanted to know what you thought it takes to run a learning creative cycle. So instructions, fill in the questions below. Oh, for each stage of the project development. I got to put an O there. And then publish. Stages of creation. Again, you'll delete all these instructions. So all this stuff, that'll go bye-bye. Leave this, leave this, leave this, and then delete all these as you answer these questions. So what tools should we use to find inspiration? What process should we use? How do you measure quality? and for inspiration. Like, again, how do we know we're using a process that works well for us? These are questions we want to answer as a class. And then who measures the quality? Okay. And when I say you, it could be anybody. Like, how does a person measure quality? Okay. And then I have the same set of questions for each one of these. So once you have an idea, then what's your intention? Your intention. How do we clarify, and so on and so forth? There we go. Pre-production. How can we brainwrite, brainstorm, and storyboard? Okay, I have a link here, so if you're interested in learning more about that, and plan our ideas at this phase. Okay, think about that. Then production. How do we communicate with each other and execute our plan for this phase? This is where we actually make the project. Okay, and then post-production. How do we communicate with each other and execute our final stages of the project for this phase? This is where we publish the work and then we present it. So what do we need to know to present properly? What tools and process? And then feedback. How do we want to conduct a review of the session or a class to get better at it? Okay, and that is the end of my week 5 video.